Definition of the word.
Blank.
Adjective.
White or pale, without color. Free from writing, printing, or marks. Having an empty space to be filled in.
Example.
Blank paper, a blank check, a blank ballot, a blank CD. Scoreless, without any goals or points. Lacking characteristics which give variety. Uniform.
Example.
A blank desert, a blank wall, blank unconsciousness. Absolute. Downright. Sheer.
Example.
There was a look of blank terror on his face. A blank refusal to cooperate. Without expression.
Example.
Failing to understand the question, he gave me a blank stare. Utterly confounded or discomfited. Empty. Void. Without result. Fruitless.
Example.
A blank day. Devoid of thoughts, memory, or inspiration.
Example.
The shock left his memory blank. Of ammunition. Having propellant but no bullets, unbulleted.
Example.
The recruits were issued with blank rounds for a training exercise.
Noun.
A small French coin, originally of silver, afterwards of copper, worth 5 deniers. Also a silver coin of Henry V current in the parts of France then held by the English, worth about 8 pence, 15th-17th century.
Example.
Can we find and add a quotation of Nares to this entry? A nonplus, 16th century. The white spot in the center of a target, hence the object to which anything is directed or aimed, the range of such aim, since the 16th century. A lot by which nothing is gained, a ticket in a lottery on which no prize is indicated, since the 16th century. An empty space, a void, for example on a paper, since the 16th century. A space to be filled in on a form or template. Provisional words printed in italics, instead of blank spaces, in a bill before Parliament, being matters of practical detail, of which the final form will be settled in committee, since the 19th century.
Example. Write
your answers in the blanks. A document, paper, or form with spaces left blank to be filled up at the pleasure of the person to whom it is given, e.g. a blank charter, ballot, form, contract, etc., or as the event may determine. A blank form, since the 16th century. An empty form without substance. Anything insignificant. Nothing at all, since the 17th century. An unprinted leaf of a book, 20th century. Blank verse, since the 16th century. A piece of metal, such as a coin, screw, nuts, cut and shaped to the required size of the thing to be made, and ready for the finishing operations. The disc of metal before stamping, since the 16th century. Any article of glass on which subsequent processing is required, since the 19th century. The shaved wax ready for placing on a recording machine for making wax records with a stylus, 20th century. A vacant space, place, or period. A void, since the 17th century. The 1/230,400th of a grain, 17th century. An empty space in one's memory. A forgotten item or memory, since the 18th century. A dash written in place of an omitted letter or word, since the 18th century. The space character. The character resulting from pressing the spacebar on a keyboard. A domino without points on one or both of its divisions.
Example.
The double blank, the 6 blank. Short for blank cartridge, since the 19th century. An ineffective effort which achieves nothing, since the 20th century. A sample for a control experiment that does not contain any of the analyte of interest, in order to deliberately produce a non-detection to verify that a detection is distinguishable from it. Infertile semen.
Blank. Blank.
Blank. Blank.
Blank. Blank.
Blank. Blank.